Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a, not really a gaming video, it's more of just, like, a storytelling, I guess? As you guys know, if you've seen my channel, I'm a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons. Huge fan. And we recently just got a new group that we've been playing with. We're going to be playing every Thursday from now on. And what I thought would be interesting is just every Saturday, just do like a little recap, tell you guys how we're doing it, because I don't want to just, I don't want to like, I don't necessarily have all the equipment and the proper like setup to record the whole D&D gameplay, or you know what I mean. So I thought, this might be the next best thing, just kind of record me just doing a little talk about it. But I am using a couple other resources. It's not just all just me thinking of it. I thought of I've been using the World of Warcraft map, the Broken Isles Legion map, because it just has the perfect scenario, or the perfect maps that I want, such as a deep home, which you don't know what that is, a gigantic war pool. Anyways, I'll explain it later. But I'm also borrowing the not really borrowing, I'm using the High Rollers little campaign setting, except mine is going to be a lot different than theirs, because I only saw the website. I thought this looked pretty cool. I could use this because it fits the scenario and do this and this and this and this. But it's pretty cool. So to start it off, I'll explain. I guess I could explain the scenario. So basically, for 1,200 years, I have this all on my phone, so if you see me looking over here, that's why. Okay, it's not on mute, thank God. For 1,200 years, the Ward of Zatav was a haven of peace and prosperity. This was the result of a once-in-a-century event known as the Passing of Pelor's Light. And it's a common, a gift from Pelor that radiates positive energy which blessed crops, healed the sick, and kept monsters in a magical slumber. It was a celebration for the 13th passing of Pelor's Light. The comet emerged into the world and rises up into the sky. As it reaches into its peak, tragedy strikes. The comet shatters into 1,000 shards. It fell across the top, flattering homes and cities and destroying governments and economies. Monsters are now awakened and start ravaging the lands. Everything is thrown into chaos. To this day, no one knows, or why, the event known as the Lightfall happened. 46 years have passed. The war is slowly recovering. Heroes have come and re-established cities and nations. The towns and cities act as beacons of light in the darkness. They are safe havens with organized armies and militias as they protect the people against monsters and dangers that lurk in the hills, woods, and dungeons. During the rebuilding process, people weren't together anymore. Dwarves, wherever they came from, stayed in that section. They stayed in their mountains. They stayed in the ground. Elves stayed in their towers. They stayed in their trees. Tieflings were used as slaves by the Dragonborns to help rebuild theirs. The Fey creatures in the Feywild, they created a barrier that kept anyone from getting inside the Feywild, so nobody could enter. But this is where our group comes in. Our group is currently heading to the Kingdom known as Stormwind, and how traveling works in this. If it's for far travel by towns and cities, they travel by large caravans, and they're usually really protected by guards since the Lightfall. But the people in my campaign, we have, let me just open this real quick. We have Maheen, Ranzor, and Wayrin. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Maheen.
Final exams week, and that means two things.
No. Shh. Advertisements. Hold on. I'm just gonna put on a different song. But, Maheen was abandoned as a child. Basically, there's this man named Volten. Volten was a shaman who lived just outside Stormwind in the Elwyn Forest. He lived in a small hut, surrounded by nature. He always meditated in the deep quiet of the woods. However, his peace was interrupted by a loud cry of a small child. and when he left his hut in search of the noise, he stumbled upon a baby in a crib, a note attached. I can't be seen with her. It would ruin everything. This was my last resort. Please take care of her. I love you, Maheen. I love you. Looking around, he picked up the baby and took her to his hut. As she grew curious of what Votan did. Teach me, she said. Teach me, teach me, teach me, teach me, teach me, teach me. Votan eventually got tired of it and just said, you know what, why not? So the two trained together, Votan teaching Maheen everything he knew. So Maheen became a shaman just like Votan was. However, as she grew into her teen years, of course, like a lot of teens, she got on the mischievous side. She was really curious about the Kingdom of Stormwind because she always lived in this hut and never really experienced the city life. So at night she would sneak out and go visit the kingdom. When she entered, Sorry, that's my phone. My brother is sending me a bunch of pictures of a car he just bought, but that's not the point. When she sneaked inside the city, she met with a group of cloaked figures that looked around to be the same age she was. She approached him. I'm kind of new here, she said. A blonde girl approached her. She lowered her hood, and she extended her hand with a giggle. She said, "Come with us. We can show you the whole city like you would never imagine." So Maheen did. Maheen and her new friends entered buildings in many areas, taking all kinds of valuables. After years of this, on one of their heists, they were caught. They ran away. However, Maheen was struck in the back of the head, stumbling off the rooftop and onto the ground. Blackness. She woke outside near her hut the next morning. She went in search for her friends and her best friend. However, they were nowhere to be found. She entered the hideout where they used to meet. A note laid upon one of the haystacks. Come to Ironforge inside the Hunter's Tavern at dawn. I will be there every night until you get here. So she talked to Votan about it. Votan was sad to see her go, but proud of her at the same time. Her first goal was Stormwind in search of supplies and any of the clues. And next was Ironforge. So that is Maheen. She is, what I see, she's pretty cool. She can talk to spirits. She does have some healing spells, which is really nice. Next we have Ranzor. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Maheen is a concubus, which is basically half human, half succubus. They're like these really beautiful looking creatures. And yeah, she's a concubus shaman. We don't just use the player's handbook, we use a website, which I could probably post down below as well. Actually, I have to open up PDF for this because I have it not saved in a notepad like I thought. So Ranzor is a dragonite, which is basically half dragon, half giant. Well, I think he's 6'8". Well, Ranzor used to be an executioner. He worked in Northrend at the Icecrown Citadel before he was corrupted to hell. He was an executioner. You know, doing his job, chopping his people's heads. No big deal. However, when he was doing his job, a woman approached the stairs. She was wearing a bag over her head, and as she approached, Ranzor knocked her on the ground, put her head on the stone, and cleaved her head right off of her shoulders. As her head rolled out of the bucket and onto the stage, her head rolled out of the bag, revealing Ranzor's lover's head right in front of him. He was stunned. No one can see it from underneath his mask, however. He quickly left the Icecrown Citadel in search of a way to revive her, but he was just confused of why she was sentenced to death. There was nothing made sense. So he left to find something. So he traveled to Stormwind to see if he can talk to and to go to the mage quarters to see if he can talk to somebody, anybody, in a way to revive her. And Ranzor is he's the Dragonite Slaughterer. Slaughterer is these Blood Fury advertisements! These Blood Fury, practically barbarians, but with a twist. Hello, me. Hair. Good. Good. And last but not least, for now, because the next D&D session we're actually having a new person join. So we have Wayrin. Wayrin is a gnome wizard. He came from the city of Dalaran. He lived peacefully there with his family until the fall of Hellu's Light. About 20 years after the fall, he was at a nearby village located outside of Dalaran, studying books in silence when a loud roar was heard outside. He rushed outside to see a dragon, not just any dragon. A dragon that was bigger than any dragon he has ever seen or read in books. The dragon landed in the middle of Dalaran, roared in the distance as he released a firestorm onto the city. Buildings fell. He ran as fast as his little legs could carry home. He was running through the woods, and a bright purple beam flew through the trees, knocking him onto the ground. He was stunned, but shook it off. As he continued to run, he reached the end of the woods, hiding behind a tree. He peered out to see if the dragon was still there. However, the city was gone, and the dragon just stood in a giant pit of dirt and debris. It roared and flew into the sky, knocking Wayrin back. After the dragon was out of sight, Warren slid down into the dirt pile, searching through the debris to find anything. However, all he saw was bodies, but none he recognized. However, looking through a knocked-over bookshelf, he found a spellbook. Not just any spellbook, his father's spellbook. It was covered in blee and it had sear marks all over it. He clutched the book in his arms and just screamed into the air, then set off to get revenge on the dragon for destroying everything he ever known. So that is our 3 group of adventurers for this session. So to start out, of course, they each head into Stormwind for their own reasons. Traveling in a caravan, as it was going, that was lame, sorry. The caravan stopped, and as they looked around, and they began to hear screams. Many screams, and people inside the caravan, not just them, were just ripped out and pulled out from something so fast they couldn't even see it. And as it eventually grabbed them, and when it touched them, they felt something go through their veins into their bodies, and they just fell unconscious. As they awoke, they were in this dark gray stone brick building with moss and dark gray vines seeping in and all around. There was the roof was partly open with a nice light coming in. The 3 were confused. They were wondering what happened to everyone else and why were we the only ones alive in here. Wayne was the first to wake up, and looking around, he did see past this. They were stuck in here because there was this huge, thick bush that was blocking the way. He, being a wizard, he kind of, oh wait, I got fire, and then burned the bush to pieces. So that heard noises, but on the other side of the bushes, they did find other stuff. So they picked up the backpacks, picked up the weapons, and continued on to the main area. As they approached, they walked down this dark hallway, down some stairs, and they seen a cathedral laying on the ground, surrounded by these thick bushes in some of the corners of the room, some dark vines as well creeping through. And as Mihin investigated one of the bushes, it came alive as this like little root creature, and it attacked her. This is when the group broke out into a fight against these weird creatures. Barely surviving, Ranzor killed 2 of them, and Raven killed the last one, burning it to a crisp. The group then, looking around, found, Raven found, actually, by shooting a fireball into a dark hallway to see if he could see anything. However, he did see something, except he kind of caught it on fire. As he shot it into the dark hallway, it hit something, and then it grew and grew, and turns out the thing he shot was a tree. And he panicked, and then he wanted to leave until he heard a voice that says, "Stop, come back here." And as the group entered, the fire was stopped, and out walked from behind the tree a dryad. She talked to them, saying, "This tree is corrupted. such and such that you need to kill the woman that lies in here, the Wraith, to stop her from completely corrupting this tree, and it's just going to doom this whole woods. So the group went on search for this tomb after the Dryad healing them, and they entered another big room, which, when they entered, they found a body laying on what looked to be like a stone table. The body had a big circle where his stomach used to be, and these black roots seeping out of him and leading past them up the stairs and into the tree. They quickly cut him free and managed to bring him back to life. And the person lying on the table actually used to be, or well still is, the caravan driver. He told him that basically these black roots came out of nowhere and just attacked them and just knocked them on the ground and just almost basically killed everyone. But Maheen picked up the caravan guy and just picked him up and carried him back to the tree so the Dryad can heal him. As they left, there was another doorway inside the room with the stone table, and they entered that. There was a gigantic tomb. Once entering the tomb after destroying a barrier set on it, a gigantic spirit raised out and screamed, telling them to go kill the Dryad. You're wasting time. If you don't kill her, she's going to corrupt this entire forest. The group was then confused, but Maheen has a little sprite that, with the scent of touch, you can tell if it's good, it's telling the truth, such and such. Through a save, of course. Well, I failed to save, so she knew exactly what the spirit was, and she was actually telling the truth, that the Dryad was evil and that needed to be stopped. So they rushed back after hearing this. When they rushed back, they seen that Maheen seen that the guy that she brought back was actually murdered by the Dryad. She was pretty pissed after realizing that she kind of just killed someone. But they went into battle with the Dryad, and the Dryad with a charmed Ranzor. And Ranzor has now felt the need to protect her, so he started attacking his allies. Almost killing one of them, knocking them unconscious. They managed to save Ranzor and kill the Dryad. After killing the Dryad, that was the end of it. That's all we got as far. Yeah, that's where the group stopped for that day. However, next Thursday we are going to get a new player and actually continue, which is probably going to be a lot longer. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like and comment what you think about it. And if you're new to this channel, you should definitely subscribe. It's gaming with a little bit of everything else. I also have a really interesting idea that I just have to buy one thing to make it real, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's going to be pretty cool and probably really painful. But thank you guys very much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. My hair would stop being weird. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you guys all in the next video. So, bye-bye!